Hey guys, so in previous videos, we first learned how to use Flask, but sometimes it's great to find other alternatives to the Flask library. So this time in this video, we are going to learn how to use the Django REST Framework. So as the website says, Django REST Framework is a simple toolkit that allows developers to build backend APIs in Python. So let's get started. So within my command line, let's first try to create a blank folder. So I'll just create a blank folder and then I'll call it Django tutorial, and then I'll navigate to my tutorial. So here in this directory, I want to open VS Code. So for containerization purposes, I've resorted to using dev containers. If you don't know how to use dev containers, I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the description. So since this is a Python project, I would need to use a virtual environment. In this case, I'll use Conda. So I can open the command palette. I can go on Python create environment. Here I'll use Conda, and then I'll use the latest version of Python. Let's now wait for it to build. Now that it's been built and VS Code has automatically used my virtual environment for me, I'll now use pip to install Django and its libraries. So pip install. So first of all, I would need to install Django and then Django REST Framework. So we'll be using Django REST Framework to create a simple REST API for this video and then install. Now that Django has been installed, I would need to verify if it's working properly. So the Django module has a little binary called Django admin. So I'll go Django-admin, and as you can see, Django admin is now working for me. Within my directory here, I can simply go Django-admin, and then I want to create a project. I want to create a Django project. So Django start project, Django tutorial. So there's an error. We need to make sure that it follows a valid project name schema. So maybe I need to remove the hyphen. Now that it has been created, I'll go to Django tutorial. So within my Django tutorial folder, I have a little module or a little file called manage.py. This file is responsible to do certain Django related stuff. So it can be used to create an application or perform database migrations. So within my Django tutorial folder, I can do Python manage.py. So within my project, I need to create an application. So if you're not familiar with Django, a project can consist of multiple applications. These applications are basically reusable modules that you can use in other projects. So let's continue. So Python manage.py, start app, and then I'll create an app called API. My API folder has been created, but we're not done yet. We need to link this application to my project. So Django tutorial, within Django tutorial, I go to settings.py, and then I scroll down to the install apps property or the array. So first, I want to tell Django that I want to use the REST framework. So here I just go REST framework. Next, I want to include my API application. So API, that's it. Let's now create a simple endpoint, or as Django calls it, a view for our API. So within API, I go to views. So to start with, I would need to create an API view. So API view get. So I want to create a get endpoint. Whoops, I need to exit it. So we can create a simple endpoint. So def, and then the name of my function. So let's call it index. So within my parentheses, it should be request and a simple return response message hello world. So of course, as you can see, I'm getting errors. I need to fix my imports. So from REST framework.decorators, I import my API view, and from REST framework response, I import my response. So basically what I'm saying is, if the user goes to the index directory, I want them to see this message. So my next step should be to hook this function to my API. So within my API, I create a new file called urls.py. So from Django.urls, import path, and then I want to import everything within this views file. So from .views, whoops, I made a mistake. So from .import views. Now as Django calls it, I need to create a URL patterns array. Basically, this array tells the project that we want to include certain endpoints. So here I'll do path, comma, views, since I have the views. So within views, I have the index function, views.index. That's it. And then I end this array. So our last step should be to hook my API application within the Django tutorial project. So here I go to urls.py, I scroll down, so all the documentation is already here. So I scroll down, I go path, and then this will be my index endpoint or the root endpoint, comma, include, then the name of my application. So in this case, it was API dot, and the name of my file, so URLs. Now I need to fix my imports. So I scroll up from Django URLs, I include my include function. Okay, seems like we're done here. Let's now run this project. So Python manage.py run server. So if you scroll up, as you can see, my server is now running at port 8000. For now, let's ignore this error. We'll work on this later. Let's now use an API client to check if everything works. So I copy this URL and then I go back to my Thunder Client API client. I paste my URL and then I click on send. So as you can see, hello world comes up as response. Let's try changing some more code. So in my views py file, I change it to goodbye. And then if I save it, I expect my server to restart. So as you can see, the server just restarted. I'll go back to my API client and then send goodbye is here. Similarly, as with get requests, we can also create post requests. So I can simply copy this function. I'll change it to post and let's call it index-post. So within my message, I can simply say a post request was made. Of course, I need to link this function to my endpoints. So I go back to urls.py and then I do path and I create another path called post views.index post. That's it. Now I've linked my function with my endpoints. So as soon as I saved, the server restarted, and let's go back to our API client. So if I do post and then I send it, I get my message. A post request was made. That's it for the basics. Let's now use a database with this project. So within your API folder, I'll go to models. So I need to create a model for my database. So my first model is going to be an item, class item, and then models.model. So it will inherit from the model class. So for each item in the database, I would want a name. So in this case, it's going to be models.charField, which means it's a string. And then the maximum length of each name should be 100. Next, we have to create a meta class for this. So I'll simply call class meta, and then I'll change the ordering to name. So this means that our items will be ordered by the name field. Okay, so now that I've created a model, I now want to migrate my database. In other words, I want to propagate these changes to my database file. So in the terminal, I'll navigate to my Django tutorial folder and then Python manage.py make migrations, and then I enter. Now I want to sync my database, so Python manage.py migrate. My database has now been synced. So for my item model, I need to create a serializer. So what's a serializer? Essentially, serializers basically help convert these models into Python dictionaries. This way, the API can easily send each model as a JSON response. So within my API folder, I create another file called serializers.py. So since I have an item model, I create a serializer for this. So class item serializer, which will inherit from the serializers class. So serializers.model serializer. And of course, I need to fix my imports. So from REST Framework, I import the serializers module. Next, I will also need to import my item module. So from .models, I import item. Now I need to fix my fields. Since my item model has a name, and when we add it to a database, it's also going to have an ID field. So I will need an ID and a name. The rest of this is unnecessary. So I'll delete this. Let's now create a couple of views that will help us add or remove items into our database. So I go back to views.py and then I create an API view, def, and then get all items request. So of course, this will be my endpoint. So items is my item dot objects dot all. So of course, I now need to import my item model again. So I scroll up from .models import item. Let's now move on. In my next line, since now I have a model, I need to import this associated serializer, so item serializer, and then I pass my items model here. Now I would like to also import it again. So from .serializers import item serializer. So now that I have my serialized objects, I would now like to return them as JSON objects. So I would need to scroll up, and then here I would need to import my JSON response module from Django. So Django.http import JSON response. Then I scroll back down, return JSON response. This case, it's serialized the data, save false. Okay, now that I have my view, I need to hook it up to my endpoint. So I go back to url.py, path, items, views, get all items. I need to add a comma. Let's now test this out. So within my API client, I can simply search for items via the item endpoint. So send. Since we don't have anything within our database, it will naturally return an empty array. Let's now create a post endpoint that will allow the user to enter data into our database. So I go back to views.py and then an API view for post. So def create item request. So Copilot has already suggested some code, so I'll double check it. So according to the documentation, I need to fix some of this. So data, and then I want to parse my request. So I'll call JSON parser dot parse, and then I'll parse my request. I now need to import my parser. So I scroll back up. So here from REST Framework parsers, I import JSON parser. Now let's scroll down and then let's double check the code once again. Serializer data and then data. So then in the next lines, we're checking if my serializer, or in this case, if the user's request data contains the name property, or in other words, if it's valid, then I would want to save it. And when it's saved, I then send the data back to the user. But if it's not saved, I return an error. So of course, my next step is to link this function to my endpoints. So within url.py, I do path items create, and then views.create item. Let's now test this out once again. So within my items create endpoint, I go to post and I create a body. Since our model expects a name property, I would have to create a name property and then I'll set its value to YouTube. If I send it, everything should work fine. Cool. So it's now given me an ID and a name. If I go to get and then go back to my items endpoint, I expect all of my items that were saved in the database to be returned to me. Whoops, so I have an error. It's because I have to remove a slash here. So I have an array with one object. Let's now add another item. And I'll create my name in this case. Send. Then I go back to get, remove this. So I want all of my items within the database. So now everything's working fine. Let's now move on. Now I would want to handle a put and a delete request. So API view put and delete. So def update or delete item request, and then I get an ID. So the ID of the item that I want to update or delete. So first, let's look at Copilot's code. So I have an item variable that will get an item associated with this ID. If it does not exist, I want a 404. If the request method was put, so of course I would need to parse my request first of all, and then check if it's valid. If it's valid, I would want to update the associated item. Otherwise, if it was delete, I would have to find this item with the associated ID and then delete it. Let's now move on to linking this function to my endpoints. So I go back to URL, path, items, and in this case, let's try to use a dynamic URL. So int ID. So this means if the user goes to items/1 or items/2, whatever, this endpoint will handle endpoints like these, or the dynamic endpoints. So views.update or delete item. Let's now check if everything works fine. So let's create a post and then items create. This time I'll make YouTube 2. And then I do a get to see if all of my items exist within my database. Okay, so now we have 3 items within my database. I'll just zoom in for a bit, and then I go simply to items slash. So in this case, if I want to delete an item with the ID of 1, I can simply go items slash 1 and then create a delete request and then send. Okay, so now it's been deleted. So then let's create a get request to verify where things are working fine. So what if I would want to update an item here? So in this case, I would do put. Let's choose this item. So item ID of 3. I'll change it to YouTube 1. Send. And then let's do a get to verify if everything's working fine. Great. As you can see, everything's working fine. So all in all, in this video, you learned how to use Django's REST Framework library. Furthermore, you also learned how to use a database along with serializing each response within the API. That's it for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Till then, bye bye.